Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to LEGO Indiana Jones, the original series. Let's continue the story of the Temple of Doom. So we did Shanghai Showdown, which was the kind of intro part of the Temple of the Doom. Temple of Doom. It's not Temple of the Doom. And they escaped the airplane that was set to crash. Boy, that graphics on the back of his shirt looks awful. It's out of focus. So here's how they just coincidentally run into the rest of the plot for the movie. I mean, he tells them that the children are getting kidnapped and used as slaves to dig. This actually, same story could be redone in Africa, because that's exactly what's happening in modern time. Is people get kidnapped and forced to as slave laborers to dig for conflict diamonds, blood diamonds, and frankly, if you're getting any diamonds whatsoever short of the synthetic diamonds that they make in I think mostly Russia, there's a heavy chance that they are conflict diamonds, even if they can give you some piece of paper that says it isn't. Diamonds themselves very useless, except for in a few electronics things. They're used to make like the tips of record players, to read the grooves. They are used in small amounts as I believe in lasers, but other than that they're totally useless, and their value is completely fraudulently made up based on an idea and advertising by the De Beers Corporation, which the De Beers Corporation was only advertising that you should buy diamonds for your wife for about 70 years or so. Before then, there was nothing like that. Alright, so the trick here is to break this, and then everybody else can just jump over. Because Indy needs help to get past this part. This level introduces maybe the first animals that you ride in a LEGO game. I'm not sure, because they had these speeder levels, and you may have noticed that there's no racing levels or anything like that in this instance. Well, how am I supposed to get this? Let's see. If I come up here, I guess the elephant has to pick it up. Interesting. That's something we never saw again, as far as I recall. And riding an animal and having them lift something, an item up. But yeah, the speeder races were made by a different company. They were awful. They got improved a little bit in the, but overall they still were bad. When they combined LEGO Star Wars 1, the original trilogy, and no. So the problem here is the elephant needs to be over here, and they've been programmed to sort of walk where you need them to be, but not quite. And this is a weird system, because you have to jump up and go this way to grab onto the ledge. Strange camera angle. I do have a little bit of control on the camera, which ironically I've been playing Skyrim Special Edition, and there's points in that game where you don't even have that much control. Alright. So So that allows us to pick up the second box. Now this whole level is just about a scene that is only 2 minutes long in the Inland Temple Doom. Sorry, I've got something stuck in my throat. They get on the elephant. They show a scene that isn't shown here, where Willie is combing her hair, and the other two are sleeping on the ground by campfire, and a elephant was tickling Willie's like shoulder and back with its trunk, and so she's getting frustrated with the elephant, and after a while the elephant walks away while they're having this conversation, which who knows, I can't remember for what in the world the conversation really was about. I think it really was just them talking about the scene before that scene, actually, and that's bad writing. But a snake shows up, and it's hanging and it's tickling Willie's back, and she thinks it's the elephant's trunk again, so she grabs it and throws it away without even looking at it. And all the while, Indiana Jones is looking at the snake, I think, and shaking in fear. Here we have got some Lego crocodiles. When I got Lego crocodiles, I got it in a batch of used Legos that somebody was selling, and I looked at them and I'm like, that is amazing. I would have never thought of that, and that's really silly of me, because obviously I played this game before. I should have remembered they are here in the game. But to be fair, I haven't seen these Lego spiders anywhere either. I imagine they exist. It's just, what sets do they exist in? Because if they only come around in the Indiana Jones Lego sets, then those haven't been for sale for a long time. We need the shovel. Well, you already had a shovel, didn't you? Pick up this key, pick this up, and then come over here. So they're just adding a long, complicated path here to get the elephants to the castle. Now we need to find bananas. Where are the bananas? This level in the game actually hurts the story, because when they arrive at the castle, they are 100% welcomed and very nicely treated, and at no point are they do they feel poorly treated at all. They're totally welcome. So the idea that there would be gates or anything, there was nothing that stopped. Let's see, maybe I have to go to the other side? This is weird because the bananas... Why would you put the bananas right here? I got a banana. Will I have it when I respawn? Yes. Wow. Bad game design, clearly. Trade the banana for the golden key. They have a pretty simplistic Lego thing. Managed to kill myself in the attempt to. Pretty simplistic Lego device built there. I imagine Lego could do something like an Incredible Machine style game where it's full of Kinect's creations and you're trying to knock a soccer ball or something into a goal, but you have to do it in an odd way. Out of the way, elephants. This guy is just chasing all the elephants away. But I'm not sure I would be really happy with a Lego game like this. Part of the issue is Lego allowed TT Games to make a series of Lego games for so long that what a Lego game is made by TT Games is a Lego game in my mind and the mind of anybody who's ever played any of them. So even their Lego Worlds that's in beta on Steam right now and has like no goal or reason to do it, and it's just this kind of open world, sort of like Minecraft with even less goals gameplay. The Lego Worlds feels very empty as far as the game. So this is why you needed the elephant that whole time. And then we need to come over here and wait for Willy to find the ladder. She didn't find it. Willy's afraid of spiders. So we've got two characters with phobias. Thus it would be best to play as Short Round. Short Round's a really good name for a character that you probably wouldn't be able to get away with calling a kid Short Round in a movie these days. Although you might. So here's the infamous monkey brain scene. And look, they just, in this, they give the kid a hot dog. And then the monkey's blinking. Eating the brains of monkeys is not very good. It can give you all kinds of diseases. Bushmeat, as it's called when you eat monkeys, is not healthy. This was a cool idea. The prince was just a kid too. There's a lot of kids in this movie, albeit most of them are slaves and kidnapped children. Yeah, clearly this is the beginning of Steven Spielberg going to the kids, which isn't fair because Steven Spielberg in a lot of ways had always been for the kids. E.T. is basically a kids movie. It's just that the original version of E.T. Got censored in the re-release even more to be even more kid-friendly. In a lot of ways, this was the movie, I believe, that invented PG-13. So there was something between the R rating or the, I believe it may have been even the X rating at the time. And Steven Spielberg directly had a hand in that concept. And arguably, by introducing the concept of PG-13, PG movies got more violent to go for the PG-13 instead of X movies getting less violent or otherwise inappropriate for kids. And now everything is at an R rating, or the vast majority go for R ratings. Or what was an R may be a PG-13. The rating system makes no sense, literally. It's a very, very subjective thing. Just a couple people, a group of people picking a rating out of nowhere. So I guess the bell has the thing here. There was no bell in the movie. And when we ring the bell, we get some more bad guys. And this, too, is not the case. This changes the events of the movie. Nobody attacked them until maybe in the middle of the night somebody tried to stealthily kill them. Yeah, I think one of them tried to sneakily kill him, but everybody treated them very nicely before that point. How would one get up there, I wonder? It doesn't matter. Even if I could find that, I'd still have to figure out where I'm shipping it, where the post box is. I'll get that in free play, I'm sure. Here you have an example of Lego pillars to blow up. I kind of wish more pillars in the Lego games were like that. Very often the architecture that seems like it could have been Lego built isn't there. That might be the first instance of a Lego plant in a pot. Probably not. And definitely not the first instance of a Lego game locking up. And there were 3DS versions of these games. Now, who's to say the 3DS versions of these games are anything close to it? If anything, that might be part of the problem, is that they may have some system in which they make the general concept of a character of a game and then render it one way for powerful consoles and PC, and render it a different way for handhelds. Ironically, you could probably get all these Lego games on a cell phone these days too, but I wouldn't recommend it. Still, I would say you're better off getting a used copy for the Xbox 360 and double checking on backwards compatibility and all of that. Or used copy of the PlayStation 3, which I think has backwards compatibility of some sort, but maybe not. It would be a little bit better to do backwards compatibility on the 360. Not to start a console argument, but the only way backwards compatibility works on the PlayStation 4 is through the Play Now service, which is not great. And that has to do with the fact that the PlayStation 3 had a different type of processor than what is standard. If only. At this point, this should be the point where she got new clothes too. I don't know how she would have gotten another change of clothing. And before the thuggy people killed them, the moviegoer, whether it actually achieved this goal or not is questionable, but the moviegoer was supposed to question whether the villagers were just telling tales and maybe the kids ran away to make better lives for themselves instead of staying in an incredibly poor village. And see, the India we're seeing here, or Persian area, whatever it is we're seeing here, is not anything like a modern India, because modern India, you'd have to be very, very remote location for it not to have thousands and thousands of people. It's just hugely densely populated. So we get the book, and I guess we go through the secret passage, which is what we did in the movie. Again, more difficult puzzles than what we've seen before in Lego games. Lego Harry Potter in particular had one that only had the 2x2. So we get in the room and then we can just leave the room again. Good to know. And every time we activate something, we... So that secret passage didn't exist in the movie. In fact, it's a pretty funny scene. Maybe not kid appropriate. But I have a story I have to always tell about Temple of Doom because I saw it at the age of probably somewhere between being 2 years old and 6 years old. I'm not exactly certain, but it was just very close to when it had come out on probably VHS, and they were showing it in a bowling center's daycare. So a bunch of my parents and other parents of bowlers were put their kids in this daycare in the hands of probably not professionals, and they decided to watch this movie. Now, it may be fair to say they didn't know anything, because it unlike modern times where everybody knows what's in a movie way before they see it, if they want to. They may simply have been ignorant. So I clearly remember watching the monkey brain eating scene at that young age, and surrounded by several other kids who were not old enough to be watching this. Honestly, I'm still kind of trying to question in my mind what the appropriate age to show the Indiana Jones movies would even be. And I'm thinking 14, 16, 18, really? Because there's just a lot of violence in it, honestly. But who knows? So funny scene where he pushes on the breasts of the statue, and Willie is standing next to her, and she goes, "I'm right here, look at me, touch mine." And then he opens the secret door. So Indiana Jones is obsessed with finding the secret panel, and she's trying to get him the romancer. Let's see. So here's an interesting trick. I can't slide down here. So how would I just gotta jump. Interesting. Well, I'm glad they improved Lego Vines. A little bit. That's 8. I'm almost gonna get them all. I imagine there'll be at least one I can't get. Although it's possible there's not that many other characters with abilities. We need a thuggy character, and maybe you need like a knight character from The Last Crusade or something like that, but I'm not even certain that's the case. With Short Round unlocked and Willie unlocked, I may have the solution to every puzzle they can throw at me already. Which, if that was the case, or after we've unlocked that thuggy character, now Short Round and Indiana Jones needs to come up over here and pull the other one, because he's the only one who can make it to that point. Yeah, but the cave section in the movie was just this dark cave full of insects crawling all over them. Very spooky and scary. It's like this movie will clearly give you germophobia. No, I can't just walk into the spiders, even though I'm not afraid of them. So I've got to swing over here. The music never stops on this. It just seems to go from one to the other to the next song to the next few lines. Let's see. So, follow me, guys. Let's see what's here. That's number 9. Stand on the switches. We go in here. I'm trying to get True Adventurer. Now I've got that. And then we come in here. And we are in the room with spikes coming down. So it feels like we probably have plenty of time here. And we built a wall to stop it, which is not what happened in the movie. He slides down, he sticks his hand to grab the hat. And then they make it to the Thuggy Temple. And see, I don't know anything about Thuggies, or this cult or anything, so it seems kind of unbelievable that a cult would actually exist that believed that there was actually the ability to rip out a person's beating heart and they would stay alive, or they would burn and the heart would burn, or whatever the grossness they show in the movie. It's not anywhere as gross in this watered down video game version of it. So I said the first row was going to be characters just from the first movie. I'm not even correct on that. It was maybe 3/4 of the first row was the first movie, and now we're filling it in with the characters from the second movie. Almost up to 500,000, and we arguably are halfway through with the game. So you can probably guess what this is building. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.